Won by Hunter.
Oh, well, that was, I think that was an interesting debate. I mean, if you think about it, I remember every year, but a couple years ago, Trent Skaggs got up and made an amendment on cutting all the health care benefits in the state of Missouri. And as Republicans, we voted against that. And all the headlines and the press reports the next day were that the Republicans protected their own health care and cut poor people's health care. And I thought, Trent was probably playing a political game there more than anything, and I was surprised the press didn't point it out for what it was, but that's the way it worked out. Hunter, I've disagreed with him, but I think he was trying to make a point. I thought it was ironic. I will tell you, I was surprised as we went through the budget process this year, not one single Democrat made an amendment on the floor to strip or to take some money and reinstate the Medicaid cuts. I was really shocked at that. I figured they would. Be a great political vote to get us in necessarily, especially since that's the top priority, that every time I'm on a campaign trail or in a joint appearance, that's what you hear is the top priority of the D's. And yet that never happened. And then when we got, Hunter wanted to, make his point, I guess, give him a chance to vote for a tax increase to reinstate the Medicaid cuts. Nobody wanted to do that either. Thought it was ironic that Jeff Harris, was not here to vote, yes or no. And Jeff used to just beat me up mercifully on all the cable shows that we do about that issue. And then Margaret Donnelly, the budget chair, or the ranking budget chair, who's a great lady to work with and has articulated that over and over again, even participated in the debate, but then yet was afraid to vote on that issue. And I was been very upfront. I think we did the right thing on the Medicaid changes that we made. It's made the program better. I wouldn't vote to redo them. I would vote no on those amendments if they offered them. And I would also vote no on the tax increase. But I think it's a little disingenuous. I think the minority has a job, and I've been in the minority, and they should point out where the minority could do it better or where they're wrong.
How does your plan work to do that?
According to the department, it was around $200 million to reinstate, and we had several proposals where we found money out of the budget, in the budget committee, on the floor. The governor also has $200 million he's not spending. They gave $100 million in tax credits to one developer in St. Louis. There's another money. There's plenty of money in a $22.5 billion budget to carve out $200 million for a issue that's important to the people of the state of Missouri, where you also leverage the federal money. We've lost $1 billion of federal money since we made those cuts. And instead of dealing with it in a genuine way, Republicans decide to play games again.
So how do you respond to the argument by ISIT, for example, when he says if you take the $200 million that's in the bank, that $200 million might not be there the next session and the next session, and you're in a rut, so to speak? Well,
it's a sustainable thing we should be investing in, because you get more money from the federal government. So you invest that money, and you do that. Then you start to make real cuts that are important. You make sure you're looking at tax credits, and you're not giving away the farm on tax credits, and you're making sure you're spending your money responsibly. This is a clear investment.
For example, I noticed whenever we talk about Medicaid and you ask, where you're going to cut, I've heard Attorney General Nixon say, I've heard you say, we gave $100 million to Paul McKee, yet many in your party, voted for that tax credit. It doesn't seem like it would have the support to be repealed in this session. How do you sort of respond to that legislative reality?
Well, the point is this: it's a $22.5 billion budget, and you see our budget expanded more than any other year. And if they were really serious about restoring the cuts, we could do it without a tax increase. The examples of the tax credits to one developer shows that when they have the will to get things done, they do it. If the Republican Party and the majority has the will to reinstate the cuts, they simply could do it. We would find $200 million. We've given them a whole bunch of ways to do that, and they have simply not wanted to do that.